We never know when the very day will come when we will be gone. Celebrity deaths can be tragic and shocking for many, especially if you're a huge fan of the individual. What's even more haunting are their last words, with some being more poignant than others because they knew they were going to die. Their last words were spoken before leaving for another world. As parting words to us, subscribe to the channel, put a bell on all notifications. Let's start. Heath Ledger was an Australian actor and heartthrob known for his role in films like A Knight's Tale and 10 Things I Hate About You. On January 22, 2008, Heath tragically died of an accidental overdose of prescription drugs. In an interview, Heath Ledger's father Kim Ledger revealed that his sister, Kate, had told Heath not to mix prescription drugs that night. The drugs prescribed to Heath were for anxiety, pain and insomnia, and when mixed together can be fatal. His last words to his sister over the phone were, Katie, I'll be fine." Actor Paul Walker was known for his main role in the Fast and Furious series, which makes his death even more tragic as he died in a car crash. On November 30, 2013, he stepped out of a charity event to take his car for a quick spin and said, "Hey, I'll be back in 5 minutes, alright?" Frank Sinatra was an American singer and actor who was particularly famous in the 1950s. He had been seriously ill for months when he suffered a heart attack, and died on May 14, 1998 at Cedars-Sinai Medical Hospital in Los Angeles. According to his wife Barbara Marx, who was at his bedside when he died, his last words were, "I'm losing it." This poignant message was written by Kurt Cobain in his suicide note. He was found dead in his home on April 8, 1994 in his home in Seattle, Washington. He suffered a fatal wound to the head from a 20-gauge shotgun and left an extremely emotional suicide note. The last line read, "I don't have the passion anymore, and so remember, it's better to burn out than to fade away." Jamaican singer and songwriter Bob Marley passed away in Miami on May 11 after battling skin cancer. He was only 36 years old. His famous last words to his son Ziggy were, "Money can't buy life." Many fans believe Bob Marley is talking about money not being able to save him from cancer. Singer and songwriter John Lennon, famously known for the Beatles, was shot in New York on December 8, 1980. He shouted, "I'm shot." After the bullets hit him in the side and back, he was able to walk 5 or 6 steps and enter this room until he collapsed. His last word was, "Yeah," which he muttered to a policeman on the way to the hospital. Apple co-founder Steve Jobs was not a celebrity in the traditional sense, at least not at the start of his career. A life cut short in October 2011 by a virulent form of pancreatic cancer. When death came for Jobs, it seems rather as though he were looking into a world beyond, as well. According to USA Today, Jobs' last words, as heard by relatives, were, "Oh wow." Much like Frank Sinatra, who seemed to have known the end was upon him, so too did James Brown, the hardest working man in show business. And the last words of Brown were unsettling and similar to those of Sinatra. In fact, on the morning of December 25, 2006, Brown suffered congestive heart failure and, according to TV Guide, managed to gasp the words, "I'm going away tonight," to his longtime friend and manager, Charles Bobbitt. Despite becoming a real-life princess, the life story of Diana, Princess of Wales, was anything but a happily ever after tale. And unbeknownst to many, Diana did not die immediately following the tragic car crash caused by and then quickly documented by paparazzi who were tailing her car. In the immediate aftermath of the car crash, Diana reportedly had time to look about and, in confusion, say, "My God, what happened?" As she saw the lifeless bodies of 2 other passengers in the vehicle, she then lost consciousness and quickly succumbed to death. The king of rock and roll had a less than dignified death. He had a heart attack while in the bathroom at just 42 years old. His fiancée Ginger Alden wrote in her memoir that Presley's last words were, "I'm going to the bathroom to read." Apparently TuPac was ready to stay gangster until the very end. After being gunned down following a Mike Tyson fight in Las Vegas, he uttered these famous last words, according to one officer, "Fuck you." Barry White was an excellent singer and songwriter, but not very good at medical diagnosis. While in the hospital for high blood pressure and a failing liver, White allegedly told his nurses to stop bothering him. He said, "Leave me alone, I'm fine." He passed away shortly after. He was 58. This one remains a mystery to this day. The man who was responsible for the creation of Disney scribbled down the name of then-child actor Kurt Russell on a piece of paper as his final communication in 1966. Hours before her death, Whitney Houston said, "I'm going to go and see Jesus." On February 11, 2012, she was found unconscious in a bathtub at the Beverly Hilton Hotel in Los Angeles. The coroner's office discovered Houston died from an accidental drowning. Famously known as the King of Pop, Michael Jackson created many #1 hits, including Thriller, Billie Jean and Beat It. Many sources report that Jackson's last words were, "I'd like to have some milk. Please give me some more." Jackson had been prescribed propofol due to insomnia. However, he became addicted to the drug, calling it milk. Hours after taking a dose of propofol, Jackson died. Dubbed as the Princess of R&B, Aaliyah was one of the most adored singers in the 1990s and the 2000s. In 2001, Aaliyah died with 8 others in a plane crash after filming a music video for the song, Rock the Boat, in the Bahamas. Before going to the Bahamas, Aaliyah told her boyfriend that she didn't like the plane. In response, he advised her not to get on it, but her last words to him were, "You know, I gotta do it. They are gone forever. We will never see them in films again. We will not hear their new songs, but they will forever remain in our hearts and we will remember their last words." Subscribe to the channel, put a bell on all notifications. See you in the next videos.